Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be reading The Right Place by Beatrice Masini. The story is about a squirrel who's trying to discover his right place in the forest. Let's get started. When Squirrel woke up from his long rest, something didn't feel right. His hole in the tree was still messy with dirty cups and plates everywhere, just as he left it before the cold came. The outside air had the scent of melted snow and fresh green leaves. It made his hole feel dark and gloomy. Squirrel didn't like that feeling. This hole was no longer the right place. Squirrel climbed down the trunk of the tree and started walking. He was hungry and thirsty after sleeping so much. He filled his belly with fresh shoots and drank the water that had gathered in a big leaf. He felt better, but there was still something missing. I know, Squirrel thought suddenly. I need the right place. And while we read, I want you to think of what the right place is to you. Is it somewhere like a home? Is it bright? Is it dark colored? Just keep that in your mind while we read about what Squirrel's right place is. Squirrel didn't know why his old hole wasn't the right place, so he decided to ask around for some help. Woodpecker, where do you think the right place is? Woodpecker drilled into the tree trunk with his big beak. Please tell me, Squirrel insisted. Holes, Woodpecker said after a pause. Holes, holes, and he carried on with his work. Turtle, where do you think the right place is? Turtle was walking and thinking very slowly. After 5 steps and 5 hours, she finally said, inside. Then, without saying anything more, she retreated into her shell. Bird, where do you think the right place is? Bird was very busy trying to make tea and keep her eggs warm at the same time. A nest, she answered. It's safe from the wind. Would you like a worm? Tasty, said Squirrel, even though it wasn't. Thanks. Mole, where do you think the right place is? Below, Mole said, and disappeared underground. Squirrel is getting nowhere with all these answers. I will ask Owl, he decided finally. She is the wise one. She will know where the right place is. Where do you think Owl's gonna say? Owl, where do you think the right place is? Squirrel asked. Above, Owl answered. You can see and know everything from above. Now Squirrel was very confused. How could a place be inside, above, and below, both a nest and a hole? Does a place like that even exist? Squirrel asked himself. He fell asleep thinking. As he slept in Owl's tree above, he dreamt of a place that was both a nest and a hole, that was inside, above, and below too. When Squirrel woke up, he had a plan. He picked out a very big tree with deep roots and large, long branches. Time to get to work, Squirrel said. But first, I'm going to need some help. Squirrel called Woodpecker, who drilled holes. He called Mole, who dug tunnels. He called Bird and all of her friends to make nests. He called Turtle, who decorated the inside, and called Owl so they could have someone wise around. When they were all done, there were tunnels below, nests in the branches above, and holes inside the big tree. Everything was perfect. In the big tree, everyone had a place. Everybody was happy and everybody was where they wanted to be. This is great, Al said. We can all stay together. Squirrel finally understood what he was missing. Before he was alone, but now he was with his friends. The right place is where we all stay together, he said. You said a very wise thing, Al agreed, and from her that was a big compliment. The end. The second question is, in order to find the right place, what did Squirrel do? The first question is, before reading the story, what did you think the story was about based on the cover? The second question is, in order to find the right place, what did Squirrel do? The last question is, describe what you consider your right place. Is it somewhere you can be alone or with others? Is it big or small?